Hi, I'm Becca Otis from Five Lines Pottery in Indianapolis, Indiana.
And I'm Ryan Durbin from RD Ceramics, located in Southgate, Kentucky.
And welcome to Wheel Talk.
Hey guys, we've loved answering all of your questions so far. If you'd like to hear your question on the podcast, please send them to us on Instagram at Wheel Talk Podcast or by email to wheeltalkpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks.
I think I started like a half a second early.
We're good. We're good. We'll figure it out.
It'll be fine. We're live.
Live.
Live. Live.
Live.
That was high.
Yeah, we always go high. Chris was like, you need to go low. Live.
We're live.
We're live.
Live.
Just like that.
You know, they say the people that can sing the worst can also sing the best.
Because they know how to control it. They know how to
Yeah.
adjust their vocals, I guess.
Yeah, we're really great singers.
I'll take that.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Ryan, how you doing?
Becca. I'm good. If you have not noticed, the people that are watching, which is very few, but I'm in a different space today. We slept in the new house for the first time last night.
Do you have... Okay, I do have a question. Did you bring your actual bed over and then put your... Like, do you have your bed in your old house? Like, are you staging your old bed in the house? Like, what's going on with that?
So, our old bed is still in the master bedroom there. The bed is there, the nightstands are there, and the big dresser is there.
Okay.
And then the other rooms, the two other, like, office and bedroom are empty.
Okay.
And then the main floor, there's the dining room table, there's the sofa, chair, and that's pretty much it. Like, everything else is gone on the main floors and the bedrooms and stuff.
Yeah. Did you... It looks great, by the way.
That's really just for photos.
Yeah, Rachel did great with the setup. And the colors and everything like that looked great.
Yeah.
I understand that completely, though. Painting over colored rooms, it's like, oh.
like you understand that why it's more enticing for photos and buyers?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
But also this like sense of like, bye. like, bye, fun colors.
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of like excited to get stuff photographed to say like this is the last of what it was before we left, but it's not really the same because you paint over all the personality that the rooms had and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine that there's nothing in them, but you know, you paint over and it's like that's not what it was when we left it, you know?
Yeah, totally. I know when I left my house, the kitchen was white, and before that
Also,
it was...
I feel like it's a waste sometimes. Like, is it because people can't visualize what
Yeah.
it's going to be or what it can be? Or some colors, like, make the room seem bigger because they're lighter? Like, I get that.
That, but also people don't have imagination, so...
Yeah.
That's a lot of it.
And I don't know what percentage of people just move in and just don't paint stuff. I mean, maybe it's 50%. Maybe it's more. I don't know.
Yeah.
'Cause some people just don't care about it. They just care that, like, they have a space. The bathroom works. The whatever. You know, stuff works. And that's what they care about.
Yeah. For sure.
So, yeah, we're in the new house. Still got a lot of the studio to unpack and move. Well, I still got a lot of the studio at the old house that needs to be moved. So
yeah.
That's the big undertaking. We'll list it here in the next few days, actually. And then, yeah, I need to move a lot of studio stuff. And then start the studio remodel over here.
Maybe you should do like a brick walkway down to your basement, you know, or something that you could like roll a cart down or roll a wheelbarrow down or something.
Maybe.
I mean, you could do a cement one, but...
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit weird, right? Because the pavers on the back patio are not level either, so you're not really going to get a flat all the way to the door.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we were talking before.
But if you got one of those gorilla carts, that's what you fucking need. Have you seen those? The gorilla carts? They have like big ass wheels.
Like a wheelbarrow?
Yeah, kind of. But it's like a pulley cart. Oh man, one time I had the opportunity to steal one of those in Lowe's parking lot, and I texted Andrew and I was like, "Should I take this?" And he was like, "No, don't steal it." And I was like, "Really?" I had it in my car. And
is it something that? Oh my gosh! So you were just looking for validation. Like if he said yes, you were shutting the trunk.
Yeah, because Andrew's moral scope is at the floor, and he was like, "Becca, no, you can't steal it because your moral scope is on the ceiling," and so sad.
So is this a thing that they sell at Lowe's and somebody left it, or is it something that Lowe's uses?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, because he was like, "Don't take it. That's what Lowe's uses in the flower section," but it's not. Anyway, it's got like big ass wheels, and then it's like a cart that has 4 sides, but the sides all flip down so it could be flat.
Oh, okay.
But
is it like
nice.
A metal?
Yeah,
it's a metal. Okay.
Yeah, and the wheels are real big, so it's easy to roll around. Oh, so nice.
Okay. I just worry about rolling it down the side of the house because it's like a hill, you know. I tried to roll down fucking buckets of raw materials down my driveway on the rolling cart, the dolly with the like pumped up wheels.
Yeah.
Bad news bears.
Bad news bears, dude.
It got away from me.
Also, I wonder if going the other way.
Our driveway's steep though.
I feel like could you go the other way around your house, like on
No,
the? Okay.
It's steeper on that side.
Fine.
And then the pavers are not flat, so like there's a bunch of square pavers that are on the back patio that are all fucked up. So I would still have to walk them across all of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think going
we'll
down
see.
the stairs inside is the easiest way to do it.
Yeah. I mean, I could cart it and roll it to the front door and then walk it from there.
Yeah.
That would cut down about 15 feet, 20 feet maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. What about you? What's going on?
Well, first thing is that I started that new did I tell you about the new schedule that I'm doing?
Yeah, we talked about it on the last episode that released, I think.
Yeah, so
we talked about spreadsheets.
Yes. So I started a new schedule, and it's going really well. Yesterday, I went to my studio in the morning. Or not yesterday, on Monday, I went to my studio in the morning, did some work, and then went to the other studio, ate lunch. I usually end up starting working around like 2:30, 2:45, and I left by 8. Boom.
That seems pretty good.
Yeah. It's like
6 hours? A little less than 6 hours.
A little less than 6 hours, actually.
You never get done in 6 hours, right?
Right.
In the past?
Because I just fuck around all the time in the studio. So.
Yeah. What's your typical, like, 8.5, 9 hours?
Yeah, just because I like to shoot the shit and, like...
Yeah.
Like, while I'm working, like, my actual work hours... Like, today, my actual work hours were 3 hours. But I was there first 5. I did 100... I should probably track that. I did 125 wine glasses, cocktail cups.
Yeah.
And it literally took me 2 hours to throw them and like an hour to do the prep and everything like that.
Nice. So did it feel like you were working less hours?
Yeah.
Okay.
It feels like I can pack more of my day, and I'm like a little bit more tired at the end of the day, but also I really enjoy working late at night. So.
But that's not even that late. I mean, that you're working till like 8, right?
Yeah, but I mean, like, nobody's in the studio. It's dark outside. I, like, thrive when it's dark outside.
All right. Well, daylight savings is coming up, so you'll be fucking grand from 5 to 8 then.
Yeah.
Sad panda. I hate it when it gets dark at 5.
I fucking love it. I love it.
You love it?
Yeah,
I'm like,
love it.
what the fuck am I going to do? You look outside and it's like, oh, okay, it must be like 9 o'clock. Nope,
I
5:30.
think it's because I'm a night person, and I'm like, yes, let's get this shit going. Yeah. Also, me and Liz Cohen had an idea. Because
Yeah.
for
I was chatting with her today a little bit.
Yeah, so is I. And for a long time, whenever I'm throwing, I'm like, man, I wish that there was just like an auto drip system that just was like hovering over my wheel that just like dripped water on it so I wouldn't have to stick my hand in the water bucket.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's auto drip systems for like sanding, so I'm sure you could just adapt that, right?
Right. We were talking about that, and then she was like, what if it was like a mister instead of like a dripper?
So you're constantly just being misted?
Yes. So your hands are like constantly being misted. I think this is a great fucking idea, and I think that we should do it.
I just see like this would be a great comedy skit where you're just getting like for some reason it gets blasted up on high, and you just see your floor behind you, just a shadow of you that's just covered in water, and then the water on the ground behind you is just covered. And it's just like when the mister goes wrong or something and you just walk away and you're just dripping water. All right, so y'all are going to ideate that and figure something out?
Yes.
Love it.
Sorry. So, yeah, we're going to figure something out. And also, like, it might be faster for when I do the world record.
Love it. And introducing this new product, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. She won the world record by cheating. By being resourceful. Also, this weekend, I'm going to do the panel discussion with Rebecca and Josh at the Indiana Clay Conference. And then we're going to record it for the podcast, so we'll broadcast it probably in a month or two, depending on when they want it to happen, since people are paying to listen. But that's very exciting. And then me and Rebecca had talked about maybe after the panel, like all of us going to dinner or something and discussing and like continuing on that conversation, since it's only an hour. And
yeah, they're condensing the three of you to an hour. What the hell?
I know.
They're shortchanging the audience here.
We could literally talk for 5 hours. Easy. So
1 hour, and Justin Rawshank moderates it, so that should be interesting.
Yeah, poor guy doesn't know what he's getting into.
Trying to wrangle cats or something over here.
Josh, will you please be appropriate? Could you stop being a 12-year-old?
What's the demographic of the conference? Do you know? Like, is it a lot of like younger crowd or older?
No idea. I would imagine it's a lot of college students because, from what I understand, it's maybe like 100, 120 people, same as ClayCon West, and I would imagine it's college and mid-college, just due to Seth Green is a professor, and I think Justin's a professor too. At Purdue, Fort Wayne. So, I would imagine that's going to be mostly the people that are there, but I'm not sure. I told Josh...
It seems like a lot of people to be in the ceramics department at a college, though, unless there's neighboring colleges.
Yeah. I told Josh that he was like, are you going to come to the conference? And I was like, no. I was like, why would I go to the conference? And he was like, Becca... like, go to the conference. And I was like,
You have nothing to learn, Becca?
I was like, I don't want to fucking go to the conference. Like, why would I go? And he was like, blah, blah, blah. And I read the schedule, and I was like...
Talk up wheel talk. Talk up wheel talk.
Yeah, I read the schedule. I don't know any of the presenters. I don't know anybody that's even going to be there. But then I was like... I texted him, and I go, I'll go. But I just want you to know it's for bagels at 8 a.m.
Love it. When are you all talking?
They're serving bagels. At 4.
At 4?
Or 5 or something. I don't know. I don't.
Oh my gosh.
That's read...
that's post-lunch nap, after nap time.
I know. I was thinking about getting a pizza tomorrow so I don't have to take lunch. So I could just have, like, cold pizza. Probably cheaper.
Totino's.
Yeah, shit. Yeah, fuck yeah. Also, I'm really excited for it just so that I can be like... Is anybody offended that we cuss on this? And then when people raise their hands, I can be like, you can leave now.
Fuck yeah. Get the fuck out.
You should probably leave. Okay, moving on. What are we talking about today, Ryan?
We're talking about the event of the year.
Dun, dun, dun.
Pot Swap 2021.
Pot Swap 2021. We should have a little jingle for Pot Swap.
I'll let you do that.
Let's see. Let's riff right off the top of my head. Hold on, I'm getting it. Hold on. Let's see.
Do the. Let's talk about Clay. Let's talk about pots, baby. Let's talk about swaps, baby.
Let's swap those pots, baby. Let's swap those pots, baby. It's only Christmassy. I want the pots, baby. You can go around the world, all over, everywhere. It doesn't matter if you know you're Clay or I don't know.
Oh, the listeners are gonna love that.
Moving on. Okay, so
Yes.
For anybody who doesn't know what pot swap is, let us
Yes.
let us tell you. Pot swap is basically a secret Santa that we do that is global for now. And
Global.
It's global, and it last year we had 400 participants. This year we will have 600 participants because 800 seemed like a lot.
Yeah.
And basically you are assigned a partner, and then you can make a pot for them, and then you ship it off before Christmas time, and hopefully you get one in return. And it's all about giving, not about receiving. That's what we say every year.
If you're in it in hopes that you get a very famous person's pot, like that might not be the right perspective to have of saying, I'm going to ship something off that is $15 value and I might get something that's worth $80 or something. Like,
yeah,
that's kind of not the right perspective to go into this. It
Yeah.
should be about giving something that you're proud of and you want somebody to be excited about when they open it and start using it.
And it doesn't matter if you are a new potter or an old potter or a experienced, not experienced.
Doesn't matter if you do this for a living or you're a hobbyist or if you know.
Yeah. If you're brand new, make the best thing that you can and send your story with it. And hopefully you create a connection that is forever. Like, Josh is actually our first pot swap connection. Now that I think about it. Because he complained.
Yeah, I've made a number of contacts with people, and some of it is a lot of people get excited about receiving things and they don't know what they're going to get, right? Because it's completely random. So, seeing the personality come through of them sharing, receiving something and their excitement, and just you get a dose of their personality, and that pot swap brings you together and gives you that dose, because maybe I'm not going to seek out some random person and start following them, but because of that interaction, then I start following them and seeing more of their personality and what they make, and start a connection. And so, and you said partner earlier, but you're not necessarily going to swap one-to-one with somebody. You are going to be assigned a random person, and you will most likely not get something from them, because we randomly sort everything.
Yes.
So you did get a couple options of choices. Well, really, it's really just one option, but you get to decide if you're willing to ship international or not.
Yeah.
And if you do ship international, you will likely get somebody that is international, or possibly, if you're shipping from Cincinnati, Ohio, and I'm going international and shipping to Australia.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're not going to get something from somebody that lives in Tennessee, but maybe.
But maybe, because it is actually random. And last year we had little notes and people were like, please make mine out of the country. And those people absolutely get somebody out of the country. Just because what a lot of people don't realize is when you do ship out of the country, that price is going to be high. So if you are hurting for money, do not choose international shipping, because International shipping usually is about $50 to $60 at least.
Yeah, it depends on where you're shipping it, how heavy the pot is. I mean, you should probably have experience with shipping international or have good shipping experience, period. I would not want to be a noob potter that has not shipped a lot of pots and you ship it international, because you run the risk of packing inefficiently, it weighs more, you pay more, and then it could potentially like break in transit, or shit happens. So,
but the benefit to shipping internationally, since you know that it's going to be a high priced shipping situation, is like the first year that I shipped I think I always ship internationally.
Yeah, I think you shipped to the UK maybe.
I shipped to UK first and then Canada next. When I did it the first time, I like went around Monroe and got like all things that were made in Monroe and like stuffed the package like so full, and like put newspaper, like put comics, from the United States, and like you can make it super personable, and I would recommend that regardless, like I think
don't just put a pot in a business card and ship it. Like like something else in there.
Make it fun, make it fun. Like, didn't remember somebody put like candy, like so much candy. They like put their candy was the stuffing. You remember that last year?
I think it might have been last year. It might have been a woman that I'm friends with that's in Canada. I think she's a customer of mine, actually.
Yeah, it was, and I was like, that's so brilliant. Like, whoever got that got like so much candy. But yeah, like if you're in Canada, like you have candy that we don't have in the United States, like use that to your advantage to like, send it. It's like when Lindy sent me my my clay cutter, she sent all the treats from Europe and I'm still eating them.
Yeah.
But yeah, like use this to your advantage to share a little bit about your life and a little bit about your culture, or where you're from, even if you're from Washington and you're shipping to New York. Like do something from your hometown, Give
a little touch in there, and then, include things for people to find you. So like we're all doing this through Instagram. So, share your Instagram account. People want to share what they're getting. If they don't know what your Instagram is, then they can't tag you. They can't have people look at your stuff and, thank you. If you don't put your Instagram, they can't thank you unless they reach out to your email somehow, or if they don't know how to contact you, they can't thank you and they can't share all the good things. So but yeah, that's kind of the essential overview of Pot Swap. We actually started this back in 2018, just the two of us. I don't know, I mean, do you remember why we started it, or what initially started it? Do you remember?
Yeah, we were talking about we were doing an Instagram live, and I was like, we should have like a secret Santa.
Yeah.
And then we just did it, and like the first,
I think we had 100 or 115 people the first year.
Yeah, we had 115 people, and remember we did everything by hand.
Yeah, we accepted invitations or entries by DMing us.
Yeah.
So I don't know that we had a date or anything in mind. Did we have a date in mind, or did we say we're doing this? DM us if you want to be part of it.
Yeah.
So we took a bunch of messages from our personal accounts, and like people would DM us and say we want to be part of Pot Swap, and then we'd have to add them to the list and like ask for their email and their address and all that shit.
We did not think that it would be that big of a thing, and it like happened. And remember, it was like, when you have a sale, like a shop drop, and it like sells out in like an hour, and you're like, what?
It was like that. Well, yeah, because it's free to enter, and then they're like, oh, I can just give something and I'm gonna get something back that's completely random. Like, hell yeah, I'll do that.
Hell yeah.
So that was the first year. Second year we had about 200 people, maybe a little bit more, maybe 220 or something.
Yeah.
And we automated a lot of it, with the entries. I think we started with a Google form. People filled out a form. We opened it at a specific time. We closed it at a specific time. And then we did the whole, like, matching people up and emailing people. And it was less work. And then you come up to new challenges where, things happen. Some people can't deliver. Some people forget. They have issues with their making cycle, and you got to field those questions. And, we were the middleman a lot of those times early on to relay concerns. And if people didn't get their stuff, you'd have to be the middleman to like, hey, this person didn't get their thing. Can I check in with the sender? Because we were keeping it all secret of who got who. And it was,
Yeah. We have since learned.
That we are only 2 people and we need help. So
yeah.
I don't know if last year was the first year that we started getting help.
Yeah, it was.
Was it last year? Okay. So 2019 we had 400 people. So 115, 200, 400. And now we have a team of probably 8 people, maybe 9 people, including us. And yeah, we delegate a lot of different things. So, we have a personal Instagram account for it. It's PotSwap Official on Instagram.
Yeah, and
so look that up if you're not following that.
And also, just so you do know, there might be other pot swaps happening. We don't know for sure, but
we don't own the trademark on pot swaps.
Yeah,
so.
We don't own the trademark on pot swaps, but we are the only ones with the pot swap official Instagram account. So keep that in mind. If you see one, that's not pot swap official. It's not us. So yeah.
Yeah.
And then and our team, they all do it volunteer. We're like the Mormon Church. Everything's on a volunteer basis. But they're fucking awesome. And they take over the Instagram and they handle mostly the Instagram side of contacting and stuff like that. We do most of the internal stuff still by ourselves.
Yeah, like sending out emails and mail merges and matching people up appropriately so that they're not shipping to the wrong place if they didn't specify that. And yeah, it's just a lot of communications going from 200 people to 400 people and then 400 to 600. When you get even just since we announced the drop, I mean, our Instagram account, I probably replied to 25 messages of random things. It could be people sharing and having excitement about the event, or they're just asking general questions because they don't know about PotSwap. So they're like,
totally.
Do you have to be a professional to do it?
Right.
So some of those questions will come in and you got to answer them and reply back. And then people are like, I see the dates announced, but what happens? I don't see a form or anything, or what's going to happen. So, people need to understand what's coming. And, so very grateful to have the team involved. It's a lot of our, Potter friends that we have, like Lindy Garner and, Alicia Phelps and
Ashley.
A number of different people. Ashley Ball for Bold Over Ceramics.
Blair.
That's Newtown Studio. We've got Chris Birch is going to help us this year.
Yep. And, oh, God.
Rusted Wheel Pottery.
Yep.
Perch
Ashley.
Pottery.
And, what the fuck?
Victoria, Tried and True.
Victoria and Canada. Yellowknife. Corinne.
Not Yellow.
Yeah.
Corinne, yeah. Corinne is Perch Pottery.
Perch Pottery, yeah. Sorry, Corinne, I'm so sorry. I've had a long day.
Yeah, so we got a group that helps us, and they're very gracious with their time and doing those Instagram takeovers and sharing all your posts, because hopefully as you're going along, you're sharing, you're saying hey, I'm making this thing for PotSwap Official, and then it gets more people involved and seeing what other people are making, and it's kind of that builds that excitement to, seeing. It's really cool when you get to see people's stuff in greenware, and then they get it to glaze and they're firing it, and then they take it out, and you're like, all right, where's that going?
Yeah.
And you may have already seen it if you're following, and people have been resharing. So definitely share the tag the PotSwap Official account, and then that'll be reshared as you make stuff and as you receive stuff and open packages. And
yeah,
I always way to just see what's going on.
Okay, full disclosure, me and Ryan have been dreading this, but just because it's a lot of work. But at the end of the day, I fucking love it because I love sending gifts, and I don't do Christmas, or I'm not a holiday person. So like last year, I sent so much shit. I think I sent like 5 different pieces or whatever because I can. I'm like, I'm allowed to do that, And so if you get a package from me, it's going to be fucking loaded. And if I get my fucking kiln hooked up. Anyway, but yeah, I use the opportunity to really give as much as I can. And it's been rewarding, really rewarding every single year. So.
Yeah. And you said it in the past, like it's all about trying to like brighten that person's day. If you have an ability to like brighten somebody's day, of surprise them and like get them excited about something they received, and like you're already building the anticipation just from the sharing and like people seeing all that stuff, but when you actually get something that you don't know what's going to be inside, it's like really exciting, and you can end their year on a good note. I feel like it was pretty good last year. People receiving that kind of stuff at the end of the year.
Yeah. With that being said, it should be noted that if you are international, there's a likely chance that you will not get it by Christmas time. And like we've had some issues with shipping internationally. We do the best we can to make sure you have the right tariff code and everything like that, have the information for shipping, but it can be difficult. So keep that in mind. But we actually, in the past, if things haven't happened, right, we have a fund set up just in case. So we want everybody to be.
Because some people, if they get something and then they got to pay the customs on it, then that's like a hurdle for them, and they're like, I can't receive this because I can't pay $30 in customs right now, or something like that. So
we ask that you not take advantage of that, but we are fully aware that that is something that does happen. So if that is the case, please reach out to us, because we have money specifically for that. That we don't mind putting out. So also, I'm going to mention this, but this year, if you want, you don't have to. We did this last year. Yeah, if you want, you don't have to. It does cost us money to use the emailing service. And last year, we just asked people on Instagram if they wanted to donate via PayPal, like $1 to $2 or just even $1. That would be great. We don't want $20. We don't want $10. We just, if like,
there's 600 people in this. If a few of you are willing to donate $1 to participate or whatever, it goes to pay for the service that we have, and then any of those issues that come up, or if somebody, if something happens,
Yeah. And we don't use the money, but, we might go to dinner. But Rachel's driving. Anyway, but, I'm kidding. Yeah, so anyway, we use that to, that would be the fund for customs, and if somebody didn't get a pot, if somebody came into issues with mailing and stuff like that. So that's what that would be for. I think
we've sent out pots to people, and used that to help us pay for shipping when we had to ship out extra stuff to people that didn't receive something because the person fell through or they couldn't deliver on it, and you don't want to be switching people around last minute. So we've sent pots in the past to make sure people got something just in case. So
we care. Should we talk about some of the dates?
Yes, we should. So today is October 6th. We actually announced the official sign-up date, and you will hear this a couple of times between now and the sign-up. But we announced it a few days ago. The sign-ups start on October 17th, which is a Sunday, at 12 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time.
If you participated last year...
Yes.
Should I say that?
You can say that. I don't care.
Okay, if you participate... If you participated last year, you're going to get an email reminding you that sign-ups start. So keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Look out for that email.
They actually get the link to it early. So
Early.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so the 400 people that were already in might get a little head start. So make sure you get there on time when they go live on the 17th, because it could be a lot of people already signed up.
Yes.
So
life isn't fair. Just deal with it. And then let's see. We will have our we'll email out the official. You are in by October 19th. We ask.
Before we go to that, can you, what can people expect for the sign up? I feel like I could probably talk about this, but
Yeah.
Basically what's going to happen is October 17th, we're going to, we have the countdown on Instagram, so set that up. That is set to go off on October 17th at 12 p.m. We do not have the swipe up thing or the link thing in our stories. So essentially what we're going to do is we're going to post a link to a Google form on our profile at Potswap Official. Can't promise that it's going to be in my personal profile or Becca's personal profile. It might be, but I can't promise it. I will likely link it in my stories on RD Ceramics, but go to Potswap Official. That's going to be the go-to place. When that alarm goes off, go to Potswap Official account, click on the link at that time, and then that's going to take you to the Google form. You're going to fill it out, and as soon as you hit submit, you are in Potswap. So if you get there and it says all the spots are full, you've missed the 600. You are not able to submit because we already have 600. So
yeah. There should be a confirmation code, right? That
Yeah, once you submit, it'll say, thank you for joining us. Please wait for an official email coming out in the coming days or something like that. But basically, if you're able to submit the form, you're in. So,
yeah. And please, 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 we beg of you, don't be an idiot.
What does that mean?
That means, please double check all of your spelling, all of your addresses, all of your email, triple check it before you submit your form. Not that you're an idiot if you do it wrong, but
this is what we are sending directly to the person who is sending your stuff. So don't expect them to do the work for you, to look up the zip code, for instance.
Yeah.
Just because you know the state and the zip code, put everything in there as you would if you're submitting it to
a third grader.
Whoever. So you make sure it gets to your doorstep, because if you leave off stuff, we've had people fill out a street address and not put a city, state, or zip code.
Yeah.
And I've had to look that shit up.
Yeah, so please, 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 please double check your work and just be as accurate as possible.
Because imagine 600 people, if we get 20 people that make mistakes, we have to clean up those 20 people. And it could be more than that. As we grow bigger and bigger, more of those situations come up. So the more you can take care of that before it gets to us, realize that there's only a few of us on the other end of that are receiving it. So and please be careful.
And if you don't think if you have just a random question that you can search and find via Google or via our instructions, please look at those first. Emails will be coming in frequently, so if it can be found somewhere else, look there first.
Yeah, and you can, look back at other Potswap of what people sent. Some people ask us, does it have to be a mug? Does it have to be this? Does it have to be that? We will put a lot of those details in our official year-end emails and what people can expect. This episode and past Potswap 2020 episodes that we've recorded talk a lot about the same stuff, so you should have every resource at your disposal to answer most of those questions that you have.
Yeah.
And if you have issues with timing and you can't meet the deadlines, then you need to be considering whether you're able to do the Potswap or not. If you're really pushed on a deadline but you really want to do it, you might need to sit it out. If you can't deliver something in time, then you might need to sit this one out.
Please
Because
be
it's not
responsible.
fair.
Yeah.
It's not fair to the recipient if you can't meet the deadline. We're actually having signups a couple weeks earlier than we have in the past because people have requested more time. So
Yeah. And you can start working on your piece now.
yeah, you don't have to make something custom for the specific person and tailor it to that specific person. If you just keep in mind like what you think you want to make and get that in the works, and you can have something for them. So
yeah. So the assignments go out hopefully by November 1st. And you will get your pot swap participant on November 1st, which is an easy date to remember. And then we'll send out a reminder email on the mid-November, just reminding you to send out your package if you can early. Now, in the past, if you've done it before, you know that we have an international deadline and a domestic deadline. International deadline is December 1st. Domestic deadline is December 7th. If you can get it out before that, that would be great. If you can't, though, this needs to be, like, get it as close to this date as possible.
Yeah, and that's just to make sure that the people receive it by Christmas or, whenever. It's an end-of-the-year thing. It's not a Christmas-only thing. So if you... And, I mean, that's a specific holiday, but some people don't celebrate that. But, that's kind of the intention. You're trying to get it before the end of the year. If you want to write on the box, like, don't open till or whatever, like, people know it's coming. It's getting that time of the year. So as you start shipping stuff out, it's cool on the Instagram account to see people receiving things throughout the month.
Yeah, totally. And also just remember that the USPS is packed, especially if you're in the United States. USPS is a total shit show come December. So keep that in mind. Shipping it out earlier is better. Also, never mind.
Also,
I was gonna say about the fragile sticker, but I'm not going to. Yeah.
Yeah. So the reminder emails, domestic deadlines. Do we want to mention anything around the mid-December time frame?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
We will be emailing you around December 13th or 14th to remind you not to contact us if you haven't gotten your pot. Because...
Yeah. Don't get too antsy because we get those emails, and honestly, we can't do anything about them. It's like, you get antsy, we get it, you're excited. But realize that there's only so much we can do to, we can't contact tracking numbers and get tracking numbers from people and relay them to you, and it's just not feasible for 600 people participating.
Yeah, and we're sending out that reminder because on December 20th, we will send out an email revealing who your partner was, and that way, or your pot swap person was, that way you can contact them if you have not received your package yet, and you can reach out. That way,
or you can thank them directly if you haven't yet, or if you didn't know how to reach them if they didn't put a card in the thing or whatnot. So that we started doing that last year. We kind of thought of it like, oh well, you don't want to know who you're gonna get, so we never did that. You just was up to if they put the information in their package so you knew who it was. Mm-hmm. But we started doing it last year in preparation for us not having to relay information and be a middleman and keep the secret, give all the information out. We're not sharing everybody who everybody has, but you're going to get an email to yourself.
Just your person.
Just your person.
So it's still private. And I think that it worked out really well last year. It was easier for people to connect, and I think it was a good addition. But
it was.
I feel like we sound like we're really nitpicky right now, but we're just
it's what makes us keep doing it, honestly, because some of those interactions add up over time, and it makes us get overwhelmed. At least on my side, that's what makes it overwhelming for me.
Yeah, we're really excited to do it. We just, we all got to work as a team. we all got to work as a team. You guys got to work with us, and we got to work with you. So that's kind of where we're at. And it's once December rolls around and people start getting their packages, it's going to be great. I love watching people unwrapping everything and stuff. So
yeah.
And having all the people that help via Instagram, stoked about that. They are great at it. Last year, remember, who was it that did the questions about me?
I think Hallie did that.
Yeah. They did Haley. They did questions about, like, who would get drunk first, Becca or Ryan? Like,
who pours the strongest drink?
Yeah, who pours the strongest? It was a lot of fun. So, yeah, I'm excited about it. It's come so fast, but
yes,
but we're gonna fucking kill it this year. I know it. It's gonna be great.
You know what? I actually got reached out to a few days ago with somebody who had was asking if I was fine with them, if we were fine with them doing like a pot swap in their like local community.
Oh yeah.
Like if they were stepping on toes. I don't know if they reached out to you, but
nobody reaches out to me.
She was in Canada and she was asking about it, so it's like we got this like name of like people know us about this stuff. And then like Kinnett Clay, like they started the bowl swap a couple of years ago.
And please do reach out to us if you want to do one locally, because we will
we can give you some advice. And
and like we don't mind that at all. We just prefer you be open about it and not block us on Instagram.
Sound like that was from experience, Becca. Oh, yeah. So we encourage it. It's fun. Kinnett Clay they do the bowl swap, and it's like around soup season, so it's like in the winter. It's like
and they send a recipe with it, right?
It's like in March, yeah. So it's your job to send a bowl, but also a recipe with it of like one of your favorite recipes. So yeah. Look out for that. If you do not get in pot swap for some reason and it fills up too quick, look out for that one. You could do that one.
I'm really curious to see how fast 600 fills up.
Last year, do we want to talk about I think last year it filled up in like I want to say like 18 hours or something.
Yeah, it wasn't like super fast. Like there was still time.
Yeah, but it was pretty fast.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we will get swarmed with people that say they missed it within the week of it, and they, you just get those messages.
So mark your calendar now. Put a reminder on your calendar now. Sign up start October 17th, 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Okay?
I have probably seen like 150 people that have shared the countdown or saved the saved the countdown from our Pot Swap official account, because we get the notifications every time somebody saves it. Oh my gosh, I just scroll through here and I see all the people that have saved it. It's nuts.
Yeah.
So these people are fucking on it. And then we get all these new followers too.
Yeah. I'm stressed about next year.
Next year. Can we like sell off the idea to somebody?
Yeah, if somebody wants to buy it for like hugs, let us know.
For hugs. Oh man.
I'm excited. It's I feel like this is like our legacy. Our legacy
I know, right?
Is pot swap.
We just need like a third partner that is on it with this stuff that we can share the responsibility with.
It's fine. We're good. We're superheroes. We got this. We got this. It's gonna be so great. I'm so excited.
I feel like it's because we're so good at advertising it and marketing it that it's like people know, they enjoy it, and then it's like it just spreads.
All good things
spread. I'm sure the podcast helps, and
all good things spread.
Yeah.
Like butter. And
Country Crock, huh?
No, gross.
Country Crock spreads better than butter.
Not countertop butter.
Okay, that might be true.
Yeah, so I think that's pretty much all we need to say for Pot Swap. We're excited about it. We're a little stressed about it, to be completely honest. But
yes.
But
perfect storm of shit right now.
yeah. Stop making it sound like we hate this. We don't.
No. I'm just saying it's a lot.
It's a lot, but it's a good a lot. It's a good a lot.
That's great grammar. We'll take it.
Yeah, it's a good a lot. All the people at work already want to do it, so.
Sweet.
A lot of them do. So I'm excited about that.
Are we going to answer questions, or we are already at 50 minutes?
Yeah, we're going to answer questions.
Okay.
What? We want to hit 2 hours, right?
Oh, I thought we were doing a short one with the pot swap, and then...
I thought we were doing pot swap at the beginning and then questions at the end.
I know, but I thought that whole thing was going to be 45 minutes.
Oh. Well, then let's just do one of the questions.
Okay.
Cool.
Alrighty, which question?
Let's do the second one.
I think it's raining here, too. Holy shit.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, it is.
You got the downpour?
No, I just heard it like whipping around and it's hitting the windows and stuff.
I can hear it. Okay, here's our question. It's from Goodwill Ceramics.
Jody.
Jody. Hey guys, I have a question for the podcast that I didn't realize I had until now. I think about this all the time, so I'm wondering what y'all think about consistent sizes for certain pots. Like, should I stick with 1 or 2 sizes for bowls, mugs, etc.? Or is it okay to make small batches where they may be 30 of something and maybe I'll never make those again, or maybe I will? For example, I think I want customers to be able to buy pasta bowls knowing that they will be available in the same shape and size to the ones they bought a year ago. People don't want 8 different size pasta bowls in their kitchen. I'm also thinking about this from the perspective of trying to create a wholesale line of pots and maybe even supplying the dishes for a restaurant someday. Some businesses ask for my wholesale list, and I'm like, I can make whatever size bowl, mug, etc. that you want. Haha. I wonder if... I've never said haha aloud from a text. That was great. Haha. I wonder if Becca has insight into this from Gravesco. For example, how do they think about what size and shape the cocktail cup is, and would the shape change all of a sudden in the next batch? Question mark.
Jody.
That was a lot.
There's a lot in there.
It was good, though. Good grammar.
Yeah. On it. All right. I'll start with like mugs. Like for mugs, I love just making. I make 2 sizes of mugs basically.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I make a 1 pound mug, which is probably 85% of the mugs that I make, and then
like a 16 ounce.
I mean they hold different amounts though. I mean some of them I belly.
Yeah.
In their 1 pound, and some of them I don't belly in their 1 pound, and they might hold 14 ounces for a bellied one and 10 to 12 ounces for the non-bellied one.
Yeah.
And I just like that consistency. Like the amount of clay is the right size. I know how much height I should expect, and it's good for me. And then the other ones are 3/4 of a pound, and that'll yield a small mug, which is usually like a 7 to 8 ounce mug. So it's like a smaller one. And it's just good to have a couple different sizes, but that's the majority of my mug. I just think making only a specific pound in weight is just, it makes it pretty consistent across the board, that like my handles are going to be the same amount of size when I like get the ball of clay for making the handles, and like the size of the mug is going to be about the same. It's just easier to mix and match of like, okay, I need some mugs in this glaze color or this glaze color, and I always have about the same size mugs.
Yeah.
Like all together. So I like that. Same for like bowls. I make like a couple different bowls, like pasta bowl, 1.5 pounds, and then like cereal bowl, 1.5 pounds. One of them's narrower and taller, and one of them's wider and shallower.
Yeah.
But it's the same amount of clay.
Right.
So, what about you? I know your personal stuff has been shifting a little bit, but What do you think about different sizes? Or maybe Gravesco, you can think about it as well. They're
I have a lot to say. Is that okay?
a lot. Go for it.
Okay. So I definitely think that so there's a couple reasons why I think that it's great to narrow down your production line and to have specific sizes for bowls, mugs, etc., plates, everything like that. The main one is not actually about your customers, it's more about you. And that is that it's a hell of a lot more efficient to keep your sizes and shapes consistent, and that way, like, you're not, oh, how did I make this again? How did I make this shape again? It's like you're like, oh, this is the shape I need. This is what it looks like. What I recommend, because you had mentioned about like how to remember from Gravesco, like kind of like, is the cocktail cup going to be the same this batch to this batch? Well, they are, and the reason is because the first time I ever made those cocktail cups, I recorded the weight, I recorded the size of the rim, I recorded the height, and then I recorded the weight of the clay and the height and the width, and then I recorded a picture of what it looked like, and then you can also take a picture of when you trim it, what that looks like, and that all goes in Trello or in your notes app if you want to do it in your notes app. I recommend doing this, especially if you do anything for wholesale that's specific to your wholesale. Like, you know, some people are like, can you make me a 20-ounce mug with this blah, blah, blah? Make sure you're taking pictures of the first one that you make, because that's going to end the height, width, and weight, because that's going to be really important for the future, especially if you ever have to make an extra one or anything like that. And then also say which clay you used, like document it as much as possible. You could even do a form situation like what you do, Ryan, for Google Docs. That would be completely appropriate for that. So and then like if you're doing the same size, like you said, if you're doing the same size mug, if you have a 16-ounce mug, like my mugs were, I think, a pound. Yeah, I think my mugs were a pound. They weren't all the same, but they were very similar in size, and the handles were all the same. Like, you know, the more you make those handles, the more you make those mugs, the faster you're going to get, and the more money you're going to make, because you're doing them faster, you're finding more efficiencies. So the more that you can make consistent items, the better your profit margin is going to be.
And I think of it like piling up bisqueware too. It's really easy it's much more manageable to pile up. Like, I have 2 different sizes of bowls, so like it's very apparent that you're running low on specific sizes, and you can just make more of a specific size and just pile it up, because for me, the glazes run the gamut, many options there. So like I need a big quantity of bisqueware to pull from to fulfill like the specific colors that work well. So, you know, if you have 6 different glaze combos, then you need like 30 to 40 bowls to pull from.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not going to look as good on a table if you just have one of a color of a specific bowl.
Yeah. And also, if you have some sort of a 3D printer, not a 3D printer, but like a laser cutter, a lot of people do, or whatever, you can also make like little templates to show the size. Like Rebecca makes these, I don't know if there's any here. Rebecca makes these little plastic gauges. She first 3D printed them, and then now she cuts them out of the laser cutter with acrylic. And they look like a long L. So the first measurement is how high it is, and the next measurement is how wide it is, or vice versa. So, and then it says like patty bowl or crumb bowl or wide pitcher or whatever. So it is always the same height and width. And that way, if you don't have a gauge or whatever, you can just like measure it by hand every time. And then you don't have to write it down. You don't have to write the measurements down. But I do think that it's important to have the measurements down regardless, the first time that you make it. And that's not to say that you can't do small batches of 30 random shit, things, you know, but you need to make sure that your like customers know, hey, these aren't like, you know,
they're not going to pick up one of them and be like, can you make me 8 of these?
Right. And then
maybe.
Then you say, you know what, I have a specific line of pots, this is the size. And for a wholesale, it's a really easy way to do a line sheet, you know, especially, I mean, it would be very easy to do a line sheet just with your bowls, mugs, pots, and whatever. But don't feel like you're like constrained. Like, don't feel like you're, what's the word? Restrained by the wholesale list. Like, if a wholesaler says, hey, can you do this? And it's like 500 pots, be like, yes, I can.
Maybe if it's in your wheelhouse and you want to do it. Yeah.
So, don't, but it is helpful. And, you know, when you do your wholesale list, do them all in white or do them all in one color so that they see the shape, not just the color. And then you can do a color sample in the bottom and stuff like that. So that's what I would probably recommend. I'm the same way with my bowls too. My bowls were the same weight, but they were different shapes.
Yeah.
But they have...
That just makes it easier because I just have I have 2 buckets of 1.5 pounds of clay, and I can make all bowls with that. I can make all oil bottles with that. I can make a bucket of bowls. I can make a bucket of oil bottles. I can make mugs that are 1.5 pounds that are like large steins.
Yeah, I definitely
think use more clay for that. So it's
really important. It's like really smart, especially if you have a pug mill or if you are weighing out your clay. It's really smart to have certain weights, like 14 ounces, 1.5 pounds, 8 ounces. Those were my like 3 specific weights, you know, and I didn't really need any more than that. So try to keep your weights at like a small quantity, you know, like what he's saying, like try to.
I mean, I might have in the past made mugs with 1.25 pounds, but I don't make anything else with 1.25 pounds. So it's like sunset that, got rid of it, and 1 pound is pretty good. And I've also got better with my throwing. So what I might have got with 1.25 pounds in the past, I can get with 1 pound of clay for a mug. It's lighter weight. You trim away the clay that's not needed, and you simplify what you're making.
And you should expect your bowls to change. Oh my gosh, Teresa and Brandon, who I eat dinner with them every Sunday, and they have bowls from one flash sale that were very like, they're very shallow, but they're like curvy, you know. And then they were like, can you make us 3 more bowls and bring them when you move to Indiana? And so those ones are a completely different shape. They're the same size, but they're a completely different shape. And so you should expect that your shape will at least change a little bit because we are only human and our styles tend to evolve. So don't be like, keep them in the same format, but like don't be thinking that your bowls from 5 years ago are going to be the same as your bowls now. You know, there will be progression within that, you know.
Yeah, I almost never have somebody say, like, I had this bowl from you from years ago. Can you recreate this bowl? Like, that almost never happens. It's just like, this is what I offer.
Yeah.
And, like, if you like it, buy it. If you don't, you don't. Like.
Yeah. Cross that battle when it comes. And then say no.
And also, just because the bowls are the same weight, I don't price them the same. I price the cereal bowls, the ones that are more like proportional, like width and height wise. Those are priced at $24, and my shallow pasta bowls, I call them pasta bowls, but I probably just call them shallow bowls. They're not as big as your pasta bowls, so.
Call them pasta bowls, they'll sell better.
Yeah, I feel like you've told me this before, and I think that's probably why I.
People like pasta.
But those pasta bowls actually sell for $28.
Yeah.
Because I do have some cracking, because I throw thinner. So, like, I'm trying to get the wide bottom that's thinner, and sometimes they shrink a little bit more on the bat, and they crack. So,
and you
I have
don't
some
trim,
loss.
so.
And I trim the edge, and that's it. But, they're a little bit larger. They take up, like, more space in the kiln, even though they're shorter. But, and I I have a little bit more. They're a little finickier than the others, so I price them appropriately. Plus, you said the pasta thing, so like I feel like they would sell. I would not be able to keep up if I sold them at 24, probably.
Yeah.
So.
God, I miss those pasta bowls. I made some pasta bowls for Gravesco, and they are fucking dope. They are so good. So stoked about it.
You mentioned the gauge thing earlier. I feel like that's good to highlight that. I think that's personally better than using a ruler because it's a set. There's no room for human error. There's less room for human error there.
Yeah.
When you're using a physical device that is a specific size, that is not like eyeballing it, and you're not looking at a rule like, did I put it at this end, or
And I mean, you could even you could even make your own gauges too. Like if you went to the dollar store and got a plastic ruler, you could probably X-Acto it out or cut something or like shape it out so that it's got the markers on it. And I mean, like $1 for a tool that's going to save you so much time in the future, totally worth it. Like, I'm sure you could find something at the dollar store, even if you did it out of wood or like a doily, or not a doily,
dowel rod?
Dowel rod, yeah. Or something. You just have to make sure that you know the difference between the height and the width, so.
Yeah. I like one instance that I use the top of a 1-inch brush to measure the diameter of my oil bottle opening if I need to. At this point, I've made so many that I can eyeball it. But that's consistent. It's one inch. I'm not gonna be sanding down or grinding down the edge of the brush. So it's standard. It's always the same. So.
Yeah, but definitely take a picture of it. Always take a picture of it. And then once you've finished firing it, record what the finished weight is to, or the finished height and width is to. That'll help you with your shrinkage as well to figure out what your shrinkage is. But
with the cocktail cups, I'm curious. Do you have anybody else that makes those?
I'm the only one that makes them.
Okay. I was curious with the dimple because I could see the dimple being different and being like, oh, that person made those because the dimple is a certain way.
Well,
and then if you make them, it looks a certain way,
I've taught them all how to do the dimples. Like,
okay.
Me and Rebecca,
like the height of it and where it hits the apex or doesn't. Or...
Yeah, I mean, I haven't taught them, but we try to make them all pretty consistent. But yeah, I don't know if anybody could make I don't know. I'm sure Sarah could make them. She struggles with throw lines. She's getting a lot better, but that's it's what's interesting is that both of the production potters that we have right now have struggled with throw lines. They're way better now, but when they came in, they'd always done everything with a rib, and that was their natural state. And I've never done anything with ribs, so anything that's supposed to be ribbed, I'm like, please don't give that to me. And anything that is supposed
plus when you're throwing really thin like you do, and with not a ton of water, ribbing something like that is a risk.
Yeah, and so, but I'm positive Sarah could do the wine glasses, but she would probably throw one of them across the room.
Yeah. Plus you throw with just the right amount of clay, so having somebody throw with the same amount of clay that you do and get to that end result might be tough, right?
I could probably, I weighed out the clay today, and I was doing, because I did about 120 of the wine glasses, and I felt like it was too much this time for some reason. I think my scale was a little bit off, but yeah, I mean, I look at those. I've done so many wine glasses in the last 4 weeks. I've done over 1,500 wine glasses. So just
wow.
Yeah.
Is that the one you have the order for 5,000 or something?
It was 1,000.
1,000. Okay.
Yeah, it was 1,000. And just looking at them now, I could probably throw them with my eyes closed and get them to the right height every time. But I still use a gauge, but and I still measure them every time. But yeah, it's.
Is it ever just hard to comprehend how many you make of something that it's these are gonna sell? I make 50 of these, like, these are gonna sell quick.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah, it's like, I don't even know 50 people that would want one of these. And then you just get, like, it shows you don't know what's going to happen. And then, I had a repeat customer that come to my show over the weekend, and she bought four mugs.
Yeah.
She's already bought, like, 8 pieces from me or something. And, she came with her daughter, and her daughter bought a couple things. Or maybe it was the other way around. Maybe her daughter bought the mugs for a gift or something. But I just saw her at another show, like, 3 weeks ago. And she bought 3 or 4 things. So it's like, but they're buying it for gifts and,
Yeah, like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, especially with the wine glasses specifically. When I made... My wine glasses are different than the cocktail cups that I make for Rebecca. They're very similar, but mine are taller. Hers are shorter and smaller. So, but, like, one time this lady bought 8 wine glasses. Like, she bought 4 of them out of my seconds bin at a show, and then she contacted me and wanted 8 more. Like...
Whoa.
Like, that's a lot.
That's 12 to one person, and you're like...
Yeah.
If you sit down and make 50, that's a big dent out of your 50.
That's a huge dent out of your 50. Yeah, I know. And that's, like... That is a totally interesting observation.
And that's not even that uncommon, though. You could have easily got somebody... You could have had 4 people that bought 2 a piece, and that would have been just the same as...
Like, I used to go home after a show at Leavenworth and feel like I didn't sell anything and make 50 mugs, and I'd still be behind,
Yeah.
Like, 50 mugs at $20 a piece, which was what I was probably selling them for, is $1,000.
Yeah.
Like, it's just crazy. It's crazy the amount of shit that we make.
Yeah. And I like I like to have forms that, everybody makes mugs and everybody has a lot of mugs that if you collect pottery. So I was talking to some customers this weekend. I was like, yeah, we stock up on mugs. We have, a number in our cupboard, but, we kind of move to the next thing. It's like, you've collected a lot of mugs, so, like, you start looking at other forms. And I was talking with somebody else, and they were like, yeah, I'm to, like, the dinner plate phase or the diner plate phase. And then I was kind of talking to her about, like, I'm kind of to the stage where, like, I don't really like making plates, if I'm honest with you. So I'm like, yeah, you got to kind of pick and choose, like, who you go to that has plates, because she was saying there's not a lot of people. And I was like, yeah, I mean, they're kind of a bitch, so...
They are. Yeah, no, for sure. Like, I'm definitely in the diner plate phase, like the little plate phase. Like, I've got all of them. I got the bowls, I got the mugs, I got the cups, I got the large plates, and I have, like, I think I have 6 small plates, but I'd even take some more.
So that's where those, like, niche items are really catch people, because if everybody's making mugs, I mean, yeah, your mugs can be really good, and they're going to be for the right people that are like, I really need a good mug, or they broke, somebody breaks their mug and they're looking for to replace that, so they get one that you have that's really nice and the handle's really good and they really like it. And then you'll get people that are like, I've got so many mugs, I need to get rid of some. So it's nice to have, like, the oil bottles that people can get, like, oh, I can put some soap in that, like, maybe they don't have something for that. Or the yarn bowl, like, oh, I know somebody that knits or whatever, or that it's very niche thing, but it can work for the right people. So so figure out those items that aren't the everyday thing that might be good business for you, that maybe other people don't make a lot of.
I have something to say about the question. Sure. As I'm looking at this cup that I made, for Rebecca, and I made them for Gravesco, but the first set I made them fine. The second set, completely different shape, and it was a fucking struggle. Okay? It was like, I made 12 of them first, and then I made 50.
You were asked to change the shape? Or...
No. I just could not make the shape again. And the third time, I had to make 100 of them. and we had talked about the shape, and like she was like, "Do you like this shape?" Like, I like the straight up. What happened was, hold on, I want to go grab one. What happened was it like ovaled out. Okay, so this shape is straight up and down. So it's like it curves a little bit at the bottom, but it's straight up and down, and it's got a thumb indent, and it's like the size of a beer cup, probably like 16 ounces. Yeah. The other ones bellied out in the middle, and they probably held 20 ounces, and they were bigger, so like smaller hands couldn't hold them as well. And I was so fucking frustrated, and I was like, Rebecca, I can't throw these. Like, I am so mad at this shape, and I don't understand why it worked out so well the first time. And then...
Well, isn't it structurally better? Is that part of it? That it's structurally more sound if it's vertical walled, like the support system is easier to hold the weight versus a one that's got a belly apex in the middle.
Right, but what was happening was I didn't have enough clay. So
okay.
So I...
Oh, right. Because you need more clay to get the belly.
Well, kind of. So she told me the right amount of clay the first time, and I must have done it right, and I got them, but then when I did 50 of them, it was hard for me to get them up to be straight, and I was pushing that clay so much that it was so thin in the middle of the walls that it was bellying out. And had I just added maybe not a half a pound, but like a quarter of a pound, it would have been easier for me to get like a straight wall that was firmer, because our clay is so soft that it just kind of like slumped, you know? Oh. So if it's hard to throw, add more clay. I guess that's what I'm getting at. Like when you are making your line of products, and if you feel like, oh, I don't know, this is kind of difficult, it's going to be difficult every fucking time. So make sure that it's easy enough to throw and you have enough clay. You know, sometimes it's okay to add a little extra. And I think that we talk about like saving and like using all the clay that you can use, you know. But sometimes when you're doing like taller things or more structural items, adding a few extra ounces might save you so much time in the future. So keep that in mind when you're making your like products. If you're gonna be consistently making them.
Nice. I found that over time I improved I feel like the bottoms are the easiest thing to see the improvement of. Mm-hmm. The transition from the side to the bottom. Yeah. Like whether it's, you know, beveled and it's like untouched kind of versus like, you know, subtly going in and then it's like softened. Yeah. You know, I'm not trimming them, but, you know, stuff like that, I'm seeing more and more that it's like apparent. Yeah, for sure. The attention to the bottom, not even the bottom, but like the outside edge where it meets the bottom. That it's like, oh, yeah, this looked like shit before.
I love looking at pieces that you like made so many years ago, and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's like I left that bottom there for like I wanted this hourglass shape, and you over exaggerate it, and the bottom is like way wider than it need to be, and you could just like take a knife tool and just like cut away like a half an inch of clay at the bottom edge, and like.
Or for me, it was like always that like the base of my mugs were so fucking narrow. It was like an inch around that you could literally just like boop, and it would just like fall over. And now I feel like mine are like way too fat. Yeah, I think they were trimmed. Yeah, I remember Larry was like, if I could critique anything, these are too narrow at the base. I was like, noted.
It's like, are you trying to look like it's floating on the table or what?
Yeah, I do love a narrow mug at the base, though, I'll be honest. But yeah, fuck. I love looking at all my old shit.
It's good to keep some of those old pots, too. Like, I get it, we want to, like, throw them away, but it's nice to, like, see some of those and... Yeah. Yawning. See how the weight's distributed and, like, where you've made those improvements and the progression.
Krista always says you should keep two things. Your first piece that you've ever made and your best piece that you've ever made.
I thought you were going to say, and the last piece that you ever made.
I do not have the first. No, I do. I do have the first piece.
I don't think I have my first piece.
I do. It looks like a seashell.
What do you mean by best piece, though? Wouldn't that continually change?
Potentially.
Over time? You would think it would, right?
Yeah, then you get rid of the other one.
Or is it your favorite piece you've ever made?
Maybe the favorite.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeppity yep yeppers. I think we're done.
I think so too. All right, Pot Swap 2021 coming at you. Sign up. Share with us on @PotSwapOfficial on Instagram.
Yeah.
If you want to donate to,
we're gonna have the
PotSwap.
link in the first email.
Yeah.
The acceptance email.
Yeah,
but that'll
we'll
probably
put it
be
in
the
there.
only one, the only email. So we're not gonna push it.
Yeah.
Oh, and we have a Patreon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it. It's
all right.
It's 12. It's midnight. Let's go to bed.
It is. I'm tired. That's why I'm tired.
Me too. I'm
Man,
fucking tired.
This moving shit sucks.
Wham wham. Somebody call the ambulance.
You know what you could do? You could just get that breakfast bagel and just drive to Cincinnati and just like
and then drive back at 4.
Oh, okay, sorry. I didn't know you meant same day. All right. Never mind.
I could come on Saturday. Me and Bear were talking about how he was like, we should go visit them when they've got everything in their house. And I was like, yeah, but not to move. And he's like, I can't move boxes. My shoulder's fucked up. And I was like, I can't either. I can't lift anything. And he's like, no, you're weak.
Yeah. My parents will be here. We're going to hook up the kiln on Saturday, actually, I think.
Nice.
Should be good. So, alrighty. Thanks everybody for listening. We will see you next time.
Yeah, sounds good. Bye.
Right. Bye.
Yo, higgity, yo. It's Becca here. Hey, just so you know, thank you for listening. And also, we have... What do we have again? A Patreon. We have a Patreon that you should go, and if you want to donate to, you could donate to it. If you don't, that's cool too. But just Google Wheel Talk Podcast Patreon. Don't do the other one, because there is a Wheel Talk on Patreon, but it's not us. So make sure you get the right one. It's in the show notes. And also, leave us a review, because they're fun to read. Okay, bye!